And Langa, it's so great to have you hanging out with us on our little boxes. Yeah, man, we have a lot. Thank you so much for coming. We have a lot to discuss. I mean, you know, the last time I saw you was last year. You know, still freshman on the block. Everyone's really excited, though.
Yeah.
You were discovered by one of the biggest artists in the country. How was that for you?
I mean, I think it was very exciting at the time for me to have Black Coffee give me that nod and that approval. But it also meant like there was a great amount of pressure because I needed to live up to his expectations of me and just kind of create an album that matches the talent, you know, which takes a whole lot of work.
Well, I mean, you know, speaking of that, now that you've kind of settled in, 2 years in the game, in the public domain, you've been hustling since you were 16, though. Has the journey been everything that you've expected?
Do you know what? I think one of the best lessons I learned, like coming into the industry very young, behind the scenes, was that you need to let go of the fantasy of what it's like to be in the industry and just kind of put your head down and work. And when your time to shine comes, it will come and you must enjoy it, but also learn to discern what's real and what's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what is real is that London is now your second home, kind of. Can you talk us through what's happening in London?
Yeah, so through Black Coffee, he connected me with some of his management in London who have started working with me from June last year, and I'd been going back and forth between South Africa and London.
Wow.
Recording some of the album there, but also just looking at options of how we can expand my brand globally. With the first or the second album, we've spoken to a couple of labels. We've created some music that hopefully some of it will be on the album. It's been exciting to see how the industry that side kind of embraced me and just wants to help develop me to join the giants of the world.
Amen.
Also,
that's amazing.
It reminded me how much home meant to me, you know?
That's beautiful. Sometimes you do have to go overseas just to like
realize,
really appreciate, right? I feel you. I know what that means. I know what that feels like. But now you know you touched on the album. I want to talk about it. You of course released your single today. Mvula,
yes, Mvula.
Means rain. Can we talk about the album? Where your thoughts were, because artists like you always talk from the heart about your experiences. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
So the album is about heartbreak, really. It's about going through a pain of losing someone that you love, but also it's also about the yearning for love after that. So I kind of touch into a new kind of sound and a new experience for myself of searching for a new love, but also it closes off nicely where I realized that like the most important love that one can ever have is a love of self, where you can invite yourself, someone else into your life. So it's very interesting the way that it moves sonically, because it's very R&B and then it goes into like a modern kind of urban soul sound and kind of closes off into my classic kind of soul.
So where does Mvula sit? Is it in the beginning, in the middle, of the end?
Mvula would be the beginning of the album, where because the song speaks about like really being in love with someone, but knowing that something's wrong with this relationship and it's not working. So it's kind of about like the cleansing of self from that love.
I think
through
we can relate.
You know?
We can all relate to something like that.
100%.
Absolutely. So listen, you're going to be having performances after you've released your album. We're looking at about May, did you say?
Yeah, so I think the album will be out first, second quarter of the year.
Fantastic.
And just after we release it, I'm going to be surprising a few people around the country and having shows in their backyards.
Stop it. That's so great.
So that's going to be amazing for me. We're going to find out who the super fans are around the country, so they can start kind of like letting us know if they'd like us to come to their place and surprise them with a performance for their friends and their family in their backyard.
That's so great. We're gonna keep an eye out for you on social media, especially for that.
Please
I think that's
do,
gonna be great. Fantastic. Well, Langa, thank you so much again for hanging out. We love you so much. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.